Hey, Orville Johnson here for JamPlay.com. The biggest challenge, I know that you probably know this if you're a beginning guitar player, that the biggest challenge at first is how to change from one chord, to another chord, and to another chord, and to another chord, and try to do all that while you're keeping time with the song, and figuring out some organized way of getting from one chord to the next, because that's the key, to being able to do it in time and to do it faster. Like if you want to play some songs that are fast, of course the chords change faster. So in several of these chords, there's more than one way to finger them. And the best thing for you to do is learn all of the ways. Don't think that one way is better than another, or that if you just learn it one way, then that's good enough, and that should be good enough for anything that you play. Because the point of what you're trying to do is, be able to change the chords in time and have it sound smooth and, get your fingers in the right place, not have it all be buzzy and weird sounding. You're much better off if you're able to play the chords in all the different ways that they can be fingered. For instance, here is the D chord, and here is that second way of playing the G chord that we learned. Now let's take a look at these chords. When I'm playing the D, see, my ring finger is on the second string at the 3rd fret. Now, when I go to play the G chord, the easiest way for me to play that chord would be for these two fingers to move down to the lower strings where they have to go, for my ring finger to stay right where it is and not have to move, and my little finger to just come down on the 1st string at 3. So you can see that if I think about it that way, here's my D chord, and then when I change to my G, and back, that's a pretty efficient movement there. I don't really have to pick all my fingers up and change, as I would if I played the other G chord fingering. See, there I have to pick up all my fingers. I have to go from the D, because now my middle and my ring finger have to move up here. My little finger comes down here, and my index finger is just hanging out here doing nothing. Think about, where the chords are changing, how the chord progression goes, and think about what would be the best way to play those chords to have your finger movement be the most efficient. So if I were playing a song that had a chord progression that included D and G, and I had to change back and forth between them, I think I would choose probably to use this G chord fingering as opposed to the other one, so that I could make my movement between those two chords more efficient. Now, let's look at another chord shifting pattern. Let's say we were going from a C chord to a G chord. Now in this case, I would use that other G chord fingering for my G. My C chord, there's pretty much only one way to finger that chord. I have to use this fingering that we've already looked at. But now if I want to change to the G, if I use this G chord shape, then all that has to happen, you see my ring finger and my middle finger are on the 3rd fret of the 5th string and the 2nd fret of the 4th string respectively. So where they need to go to be a part of the G chord is those two fingers can just lift up and move over one string each, and then they're right where they need to be. I don't need to alter their shape or the frets that they're touching. I just need to move them over one string, and then as I do that, my little finger comes down on the high string. So C, G, So you're much better off if you're able to play the chords in all the different ways that they can be fingered, and then make intelligent choices. Look at the song that you're going to play, think about, where the chords are changing, how the chord progression goes, and think about what would be the best way to play those chords to have your finger movement be the most efficient. So that's a little conceptual idea for you to sort of play around with in your mind. So, ways to change chords. See you next time.
Do you want to get better at guitar? Download our free 30-minute practice template and start practicing well today. With this practice template, you'll find yourself building more skill in less time. We detail step-by-step how to set goals, how to evaluate your progress, and how to choose what to work on next based on what you're already working on. The most important thing that you can take with you on guitar as you improve is how to practice. And that's what we want to help you do here at JamPlay. Click here to register and download now. And remember, it's not how long you practice, it's how well you practice. And here at JamPlay, we want to show you how to do that.